Back in Las Vegas, time for the first half stats brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. That Boise State bench, 11 points without Chandler Hutchinson, who was in foul trouble, only played 7 minutes. Broncos, 7 different players have scored. Back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. We'll hear from Evan Washburn coming up. Boise State really hurt Utah State on the glass, a +8 advantage. And how about Lexus Williams? 14 points for the Broncos.
Boy, what a pickup with Chandler Hutchinson only with 4 points in the first half. But this kid has been attacking him the entire half, having him on retreat, taking it to the basket. He even made a 3. So he's been a huge boost for the Boise State Broncos so far in this first half. You have an 8-point lead without Chandler Hutchinson, you're doing something good. Utah State, on the other hand, Kobe McEwen really struggled so far, 2 for 7. Sam Merrill, though, has picked up the slack, 4 of 6 from the 3-point line, knocking them out. They need to get McEwen going in the second half if they're going to come back.
Let's go over to Evan Washburn.
Well, for Tim Duryea, it's all about defense, guys. He's going to go zone on makes. He'll go man on misses here in this second half. Again, I mentioned it at one point. He wants a lot more out of his 4 and 5 guys. He feels like they're completely lost off ball a lot of the time. Also, make the ball handler, in this case, Lexus Williams' job a lot more difficult. He feels good about what they're doing offensively, started to hit shots down the stretch.
Well, I think that's a good point, because I think changing up defensively, I think Boise State's in a pretty good groove offensively in terms of moving the ball and attacking. I think changing up possession to possession, man and zone, might keep them a little more off balance.
The teams combined to make 11 threes in the first half. Boise State leads by 8 as the second half is underway. The winner advances to the Mountain West semis tomorrow, and a good start as Quinn Taylor has the jam.
Well, that's the 3rd time where they faked the screen and slipped to the basket and got a layup.
Here's Hutchinson, limited to 7 minutes in the first half because of 2 fouls. See if he shows any signs of rust here to start the second. With 7 on the shot clock. Williams with 3 to the hoop, had it knocked away, and a foul is called. That's going to go on Quinn Taylor.
Well, you take a look at Quinn Taylor right here. He's going to fake a screen. He's going to make like he's screening. Instead of screening, he just slips to the basket. No help on the weak side from Boise State. Pretty good movement without the ball.
But he just picked up his 2nd foul on the other end. It sends Williams back to the line, where he's now made 15 in a row. Williams has had a flair for the dramatic this year for Boise State. Had the half-court game winner in their victory at Oregon in early December, and then he had the game-tying 3 at the buzzer in regulation against Grand Canyon, a game Boise State went on to win in 2 overtimes. So he has made some big shots for the Broncos this season. He's now got 16 points.
Boise State's been playing a lot of this zone, second latter part of it. That's a great shot.
Wow. Merrill, again from deep, that's his 5th 3.
They played this zone the latter part of the first half and now in the second half.
Merrill's career high is 7 threes. He's inching closer. Hutchinson trying to answer. That shot is short, and bringing it up the floor is Kobe McEwen. He highlighted his first half struggles, just 2 for 7. This jumper doesn't go his way either. Williams turnaround off the side of the rim, and Merrill will carry it up and across into the front court for the Aggies, who've cut it down to 5. Brown for 3. It's good, and we've got a 1-possession game.
These 2 teams played 2 wars during the season where they split very close games.
8th 3 of the night for Utah State, and they are within 2. Haney nowhere to go. Gives it to Jessup. Jessup trying to use the glass. No good. And Merrill has it again.
You know, after that first, 8 minutes, their offense has not been very good, Boise State. They started off really strong, but not so good in the half court recently.
Sangfelder on the drive, and he is fouled. But Utah State getting back in it from deep.
Well, two great screens on the top of that zone. That's why Merrill was so open there. That was great execution. And then through the opposite corner to Brown, nobody there. Not a great three-point shooter, but he knocked that one down.
The foul was on Quinn Taylor, and that's his third. And Alex Dargenton is at the scorer's table. He's going to come get Taylor. Taylor, the only married player on Utah State. He was married last May to his wife, Kari.
You know, you pointed out before about Boise State hurting Utah State on the glass. But the one place they're not is it's not on offensive rebounding. They're just not giving up second shots.
Steal by Jessup. Takes it in strong and scores. Broncos back up by 6.
This 1-2-2 press has bothered them a little bit.
Tim Duryea calling on a play from the Utah State bench. Perry, 14-footer, no good, and a big rebound by Sangfelder. Williams wants to push. Williams, nice bounce pass to Haney. Reverse is no good. Merrill's calling for it on the other side of the court. McEwen instead drives in. He is fouled. And McEwen will go to the line.
Well, let's take a look at this pressure by Boise State. Take a look at Jessup. He reads the eyes of the passer and sees exactly where this ball is going to be passed. And that's a telegraphed pass. You always tell guys, read the eyes of the passer. And that's what Jessup did right there to Merrill.
Well, Chandler Hutchison was called for that last foul, so he picks up his third with 16:35 to go.
You know, we talked about Andrew keeping him out those 13 minutes. He has not been right at the start of this second half. He's kind of out of this one right now.
Would you keep him in here?
I would keep him in. I would definitely keep him in.
3 fouls, 16.5 to go. One more free throw for McEwen.
You got to get him in the flow somehow. And if you take him out again, he's not going to get in the flow. Now it's going to be even later in the game. Yeah, I keep him in. He's a senior. Should be able to play with 3.
He's got the ball here, guarded by Merrill. Goes right at Merrill, around him, and the shot won't drop. Hutchison just 1 of 3 today from the floor with 3 shots. Merrill lost it, but Brown bails him out. Merrill slow to get up. Brown drives in the paint. Over Sangfelder, it's no good. And Sangfelder with the rebound. Tim Duryea was looking for a foul. Williams for 3. Yes! Oh, Alexis is driving it sweet tonight. He's got 19.
Doing a great job on their top 3 scorers, and Alexis Williams is killing them.
.5 to go, an 8-point lead. Brown jumper, no, and the rebound, Haney.
They do get every defensive rebound.
Alexis Williams, not this time, and Hutchison is fouled. Going up, he'll shoot 2 when we come back. Alexis Williams in cruise control right now for the Broncos. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Let's get an eye on the Mountain West, brought to you by Walsh. Take a look at some of the tournament news and notes. And how about San Diego State? They won their 7th straight game today. They knocked off Fresno State, and now they'll play Nevada tomorrow, a team they just beat over the weekend.
Playing their best ball of the year. They had such an uneven February in particular. They beat Gonzaga back in December. I was there, and I saw the potential. Malik Pope playing better again now that he's come back from that suspension. So this team, very, very dangerous, very athletic, and they defend. And that's what they've gotten back to, that great defense that they played under Steve Fisher. They're now playing under Brian Dutcher.
Let's check in with Evan.
Well, guys, with Chandler Hutchison at the line right now, in that last huddle, you can sense a bit of edge with the fact that he obviously had to sit for most of that first half, and he picks up that third foul, and they're trying to avoid him getting frustrated. They obviously want to get him going in this second half, and the priority continues to be pushing with pace, and that being Lexus Williams. They feel like they have that advantage all night long.
Well, thank God for Lexus Williams for them, that's for sure.
He's got 19 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, 4 assists, 1 turnover for Williams as well.
But you just see how talented Chandler Hutchison is. So long, athletic, he glides on the floor. They've got to get him going. And on the other hand, for the Aggies, McEwen's got to get going.
McEwen's just 2 of 8. 2 on the shot clock. Brito, I don't know if he sees it, he throws it up, and he banks it in. Yeah, he had it the whole way. 51-43 with 14:40 to go.
And here's that Utah State zone. Got to get the ball into the foul line area. There's nobody there right now.
Sangfelder spins, and his shot is no good, and here comes Merrill. Merrill has 5 threes. Looking for number 6, and he's fouled on the shot. So Sam Merrill will shoot 3 free throws. The first foul called on Lexus Williams.
Well, Brito here just at the last. Yeah, it's good. Oh, fighting to get over that. Well, I will say this about Lexus Williams. He was fighting hard to get over the top of that screen, but he didn't have to stick his arm in and foul the shooter.
Merrill, a very good free throw shooter. In conference games, he shot 91% at the line.
Well, you're bad. You're a bad guy.
I just present the stats. I don't have any say as to whether it's going in or not.
I don't know, you do that a lot. I don't know.
That's because I'm the one that reads the stats. You don't read the stats.
I never do it.
One more free throw from Merrill as Leon Rice makes a couple of substitutions. You know, we met with Leon Rice for a long time before the game, and he said the #1 key tonight was defending the 3. Broncos have not done a good job of that, as Utah State is 8 for 15.
And let's say this, Boise State started out 4 of their first 5. They're only 2 for their last 6, so they've cooled off from the 3-point line.
The lead is 6 for Boise State. Jessup for 3. McEwen lost it out of bounds. That's a big wasted opportunity for the Aggies right there as the ball goes back to Boise State.
A little too hard to snatch. Tried to snatch it.
Perry back in, and Henson exits. Strange game with McEwen having just 5 points, and Hutchison has only 6 points. Why don't you get on our producer, Ken Mack, because in our opening, he highlighted Hutchison and McEwen, and they both struggled.
So we're saying he jinxed them?
You could make that point, can't you?
Yeah, I guess you can. As long as you're not blaming me. I'll blame anybody you want.
6 minutes into the second half, it's Hutchison. Tough shot inside, halfway down and out. Not his night.
And that's a point. That's a big-time move.
Merrill, step back 3. Yes!
Are you kidding?
Number 6 for Merrill.
He just shot over Dickinson. Dickinson too small for him.
1 away from tying his career high of 7 threes in a game. Hutchison wide open for the answer. McEwen tracks it down. Utah State can tie the game with a 3. Merrill's had the hot hand. This time he drives to the hoop for 2. Sam Merrill has 22.
And you know, this zone that I thought they should have played a lot more of in the first half, they're playing it a lot now.
A 9-0 run by Utah State, and Leon Rice calls timeout for the Broncos. Sam Merrill lighting it up tonight for Utah State. He's got 22.
This guy's a good player. 6 out of 8 from the three-point line, and these ones in the second half have not been real easy. Step backs. He's got a great arc on his shot. That's a deep one right there. He's keeping Utah State in this game by himself. And once this guy McEwen gets going, we'll see what happens. But that zone defense has really stymied Boise State also.
Merrill's career high came earlier this year at New Mexico when he had 33. So he's 11 away from tying that. And it's a one-point game as we approach 13 minutes to go. Williams for three. Yes, what a night for Lexus Williams.
I mean, this guy's been unconscious.
He matches Merrill with 22 points.
Yeah, the only difference is he averages 9 a game.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Merrill averages 16. McEwen. And kicked out by Hutchison. Shot clock will go to 20. McEwen, dangerous pass. Merrill is fouled again, shooting the three. Leon Rice thought it was all ball, but instead Merrill's headed back to the line.
Wow, that was a shaky pass that barely got through there. Yeah, it's a foul. Oh, yeah, that's a foul. Jessup was quite taken aback. Why, I couldn't tell you, but...
So 3 free throws for Merrill. Recently got engaged to Utah State soccer player Canyon Ward. So it's been a big run here for Sam.
I would say.
He's got 25 points, and it's back to a one-point game.
And now they bring a little of this pressure. You see who's being the aggressor now. Chandler Hutchison has to get going.
Here's Hutchison. Right at Perry, now over him, and it won't go. Burrito, no. That would have given Utah State its first lead of the night.
And you know, Utah State has done a great job of getting back on defense this half, not really giving any transition to Boise State.
Instead of taken away by Perry. Great defensive play by Julian Perry, who is their top perimeter defender. It's Merrill. Jessup right on Merrill.
They got to try and deny him the ball, though. Don't let him catch it. Watch him slip in this screen. That time they switched it.
McEwen for the lead. Yes! And for the first time tonight, the Aggies have taken the lead. They're calling that a 2. They'll review it during the next timeout, but for now, it's a 1-point Utah State advantage.
You know, they're not attacking this zone at all. You got to get into the gaps, get somebody on the high post.
Williams step back 2. He is unconscious.
Nice screen on top that time of the zone. It's always good to screen the top of a 2-3 zone.
Career high, 24 points for Lexus Williams. Burrito for 3. Yes! A 30% three-point shooter, but Burrito connects. It's the 10th 3 of the night for the Aggies.
Well, they're just above their average already. 10 out of 17.
.58-56. Hutchison trying to get going. That'll wake him up. The jam for Chandler. And we're tied up.
He is explosive, athletic. And that was against a zone. He just dribbled it right into the gap. They got to be more aggressive with the dribble against this zone.
Merrill left alone, and he missed it.
That's the easiest one he's had tonight.
He's now 7 for 12 on the evening. Past the midway point of the second half.
Man-to-man now for Utah State.
In the corner, Jessup for three. It's good. That's a three-point barrage in Vegas. Teams have now combined for 18 threes tonight. And it goes out of bounds, but a foul is called on Zach Haney. And that takes us to a timeout. Back and forth we go.
Boy,
Merrill and Williams.
We're seeing threes, we're seeing it all.
You are watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. (61-58), Boise State in front of Utah State as we revisit, Steve, your keys to the game.
Well, stay in your lane. Boise State 20 points in the paint to Utah State's 12. Protect the glass. 19 rebounds. They're getting out rebounded, but they're not losing anything on the offensive glass. Air it out from the arc. Boise State started out on fire, 8 for 15 from 3, and stopped the M&M connection. 32 points, even though only 7 from McEwen. That's not really doing that.
Officials are looking at the monitor to determine if that Utah State shot was a 2 or a 3. It's a 2. Meanwhile, well, here's another look.
Yep.
See foot on the line.
Toe on the line.
Meanwhile, Boise State has tied the school record for most three-pointers made in a season. They've tied the 2014-2015 team with 297 threes.
It's a lot of threes.
And they lead by 3 as Jessup got a hand on it.
Great defense by Jessup.
Burrito fouls him. Second foul on Burrito. And a great hustle play by the sophomore Jessup out of Longmont, Colorado.
That was a great steal and a great denial.
Took dribbles at least 29, 28.
I want to thank our entire crew at CBS Sports Network. Game 3 of 4 here on CBS Sports Network today. Steve Lapis, Evan Washburn, our producer Ken Mack, director Mike Arnold. I'm Andrew Catalan. We thank you for joining us. We got more coming your way when we're done as Wyoming, the number 6 seed, takes on New Mexico, the 3 seed. That's slated for an 11:30 Eastern time start here on CBS Sports Network. Williams, not that time, tipped around, and a foul is called on Zach Haney.
That time Utah State back in that matchup zone. And Boise State in the zone of their own now.
Third foul on Haney. He goes to the bench. McEwen, Merrill, Taylor, Burrito, and Brown on the floor for the Aggies. 8:45 to go. Winner advances to the semifinals. Burrito, another 3. Jessup. He's been a strong presence on the glass tonight. That's his 5th rebound. Williams for 3. George had it, lost it. Sangfelder tried to save it. Wow, last touch by Utah State. Tim Duryea does not exactly agree with that call. Take another look.
Yeah, that's off Utah State.
Yeah. Quinn Taylor touched it last. Hutchinson trying to go baseline on Taylor. Right at him, and there's the foul. Hutchinson to the ground hard. And now he'll shoot 2 free throws as Quinn Taylor just picked up his 4th foul.
But that's what Hutchinson is able to do. Great job of putting it on the ground. Taylor's got to get that foot, that right foot on the baseline to not allow this drive. If you make him go to the middle, you might get some help. If you let him go baseline, you're dead.
So here's Chandler Hutchinson, who's been limited to 8 points tonight on 2 of 7 shooting, but he is a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line.
He's a good-looking athlete, 6'7", long. He's got a great future ahead of him.
He's on track to become the first Boise State player to lead the team in points, rebounds, steals, and assists. He's their leader in all those categories right now. And one of just 10 currently in the country to do that as we check in with Evan.
Yeah, and a quick follow to that, something Leon Rice told us yesterday that I thought was interesting is that he's now the poster boy for this program on player development, something they can sell to recruits going forward.
Great point, Evan, and a turnover by Utah State.
Well, you know what? He wasn't very good as a freshman, and they were high on him, and, you know, that's just good defense there.
Out of bounds, and Tim Duryea feels like things aren't going his way. He calls a timeout. .8:03 to go second half. Boise State's lead is 5 on Utah State as we welcome you back courtside with Steve Lapis. I'm Andrew Catalan. Still McEwen for Utah State has not been able to get going. How do they change that?
Well, he's got to really be more aggressive driving the ball to the basket because that's really what he does best. He's a good three-point shooter, not great, but getting into the lane is what he needs to do. But now he's not being aggressive at all. And now Boise State doing a much better job of locating Merrill. He can't score on every single possession, so he's got to get some help, and McEwen's the guy.
He's got 7 points tonight. His season average is just under 16, and in Mountain West play, McEwen averaged 17 points per game, which was 9th best in the conference.
You know what the big thing is, Andrew? He's only taking 2 shots in 12 minutes.
Jessup deep 3. Brown the rebound. Merrill trying to free up.
He's got to look to drive it. That was good help by Senkfelder that time.
Brown going right at Senkfelder, trying to go over him. And a foul is called.
Wow.
Senkfelder whistled for the foul. That's his 2nd. And it will be 2 free throws for Utah State. A reminder coming up next on CBS Sports Network, the 3-6 matchup in the Mountain West Tournament. New Mexico and Wyoming. And the winner will go on to the semifinals tomorrow night on CBS Sports Network.
That is going to be a battle. 119-114, the last game they played in regulation. That's unbelievable.
That's a lot of points.
2 teams that want to play fast and furious. And New Mexico, the pressingest team in America.
And both fan bases appear to have traveled well, as we can see the yellow shirts of Wyoming starting to fill in, and the Lobo fans always travel well. Senkfelder, corner 3 is good. And now a new school record for Boise State. Their 298th 3 of the year.
Yeah, that was a good defense by Dargentin. He's got to get out on that.
Dargentin nearly lost it. 10 on the shot clock. Perry triple. His 3rd! Julian Perry had 10 threes all year. He's got 3 tonight.
No, we're getting performances from a lot of guys that normally don't perform like that.
9 points for Perry. The lead is 3 for the Broncos. Utah State not going away in Vegas. Senkfelder wants 3 more.
Good box out.
Dargentin the rebound. Here comes McEwen. McEwen dribbling behind the back, steps into a three, and ties the game at 66.
That's the toughest shot he's taken all night.
Second tie tonight. Boise State led by as many as 13. That lead is gone with 6 minutes to go. Jessup catch and shoot three. And an offensive rebound for Sangfelder. He'll bring it back out. Hutchinson going right around there. Oh, baby, Chandler Hutchinson.
How explosive was that?
Broncos back in front. Dargington trying to answer, and he's fouled going up. With 5.5 to play, Alex Dargington will go to the line.
Well, McEwen here, this is a tough shot, well contested by Dickinson, knocks it out, and then Chandler Hutchinson. I'm just going by everybody.
Hutchinson now has a dozen, 28th time this year he's been in double figures. Dargington just a 65% free throw shooter, but he makes the first. Lexus Williams back in the game as Dickinson leaves along with George.
You know, Merrill got him to this point, but now other people starting to step up for Utah State.
Tied up. Inside 5.5 to play.
And here's that matchup zone again. You see everybody pointing. They look like they're playing man-to-man. Trying to fool you to make you stand around on offense.
Williams lost it. Merrill couldn't pick it up, though. 10 to shoot. Williams, no shot. A foul on the floor. Team foul number 6 on Utah State. Hutchinson again attacking. This time he comes up short. Merrill's had the hot hand with 25 points. Merrill, that's a 2. It's no good.
Tough shot.
Told you right off the top. Boise State on the NCAA tournament bubble. They cannot afford to lose this game in the quarterfinals to Utah State. And they've got their hands full with 4.5 to go. Hobbs fakes the 3. Over to Williams, who steps into a 3. He's starting to cool off a little bit.
Yeah, he's missed his last 4.
Merrill has been on the floor the majority of the night, breathing a little heavy.
They should try and get a pick and roll with McEwen.
Brown for 3. And a foul called on Boise State. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Utah State when we come back. All tied at 68.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Jersey Mike's Subs. Be a sub above. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reach for Reese's.
Back in Vegas, let's recap the game right now with the AT&T game summary. Tied at 68. Merrill with 25 for the Aggies. Williams has scored a career-high 24 for the Broncos. And that's what March is all about, right? 4 minutes to go, tie game, let's go.
Utah State needs to win this entire tournament, but the way they shoot the ball, we said that in the beginning, when you shoot the ball like way they do, you always have a chance. 12 for 21 from the three-point line today. Boise State's three-point defense has not been up to snuff today.
1-and-1 for Alex Dargington, and he makes the front end. Utah State is 11 of 13 at the free throw line, and Boise State is 15 for 16. Both teams have done a great job. One more for the senior, and he makes them both. 2-point lead. Utah State, the number 7 seed. They've been in the Mountain West. This is now their 6th year. They have never been past the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. If they win tonight, it'll be the furthest they've gone since joining the Mountain West.
And this defense has Boise State really standing around a lot. They're not sure if it's man, they're not sure if it's zone. Utah State does a pretty good job of disguising.
Shot clock at 1, and Williams can't get it to go, but a big offensive board for Haney. Jessup 3, yes! What a swing right there!
You knew Jessup was making that as soon as he caught it. He stepped into that pass. His momentum was going exactly where it should. You knew that was down.
Third 3 of the night for Jessup. A bad pass. Utah State gets away with it. A near turnover. Here's Merrill with 10 to shoot. Nearly a steal by Jessup. And now McEwen's 3 won't go. Inside 3 to go. Hutchison over to Jessup. Shot fake, and a travel is called on Justinian Jessup. Some hesitation by the official. Leon Rice thought it was a foul, and instead the ball goes back to Utah State.
Well, I think it was a foul. The question is, did he travel first? But you see offensive rebounds leading to 3. Zach Haney, what a great job on that one.
Each team with 10 turnovers, 2:45 to go. And a travel on Brown. So you want to be a head coach.
That's what I'm just thinking the same thing. I'm looking at Tim Duria and I'm saying, this poor guy.
Ball goes back to the Broncos. 2:40 to go. Hutchison around McEwen. Oh, what a strong take. Chandler Hutchison has come alive down the stretch.
He's great with the ball with both hands. He really can put it on the ground.
The lead is 3. Perry. Offensive foul.
Well, this is a great move. He goes to the left so well. So athletic.
And here's the offensive foul.
Yeah.
Hutchison goes to the ground.
It's pretty easy.
A spot in the Mountain West Tournament semifinals is on the line with 2 minutes to play. Boise State led by as many as 13. Right now the lead is 3, and an illegal screen. This has been wild the last few minutes with these calls. And the ball's going back to the Aggies. Foul number 4 on Zach Haney. And he's going to come out. Sangfelder returns. He also has 4 fouls.
They've got to find a way to get Merrill open on this possession. He has not really been involved in this offense lately. As good a game as he's had, got 25 points, but lately not doing much. Got to move around a little bit more.
McEwen for 3. We're tied at 73.
Well, we talked about McEwen getting going, and now he's making some plays.
He's got 13. 90 seconds to go.
You got to find a way to get Chandler Hutchison the ball.
He's got it. Looking to attack. Hutchison, jumper, won't go, and the rebound to McEwen.
Well, he's got to make that one. Everything but the shot.
Utah State, the number 7 seed in the Mountain West Tournament. Tied with Boise State as we approach 1 minute to play. Brown, nice dish. Taylor reverses to Merrill, and it won't go. They fight for the rebound, and a foul.
What a great pass. to Merrill. He was so wide open. I got to think he was a little surprised. That was a tremendous pass to your best player.
Foul is on Marcus Dickinson of Boise State. Don't forget, coming up next, we turn things over to the studio as CBS Sports Network gives you the inside scoop of everything going on in the world of college basketball. It's Inside College Basketball, Bracket Week presented by Kubota on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Brown makes the first free throw. That was the 10th team foul on Boise State. So one more for Brown.
You know, Andrew, even though Hutchison has missed some of those drives, you got to get him the ball. Oh, wow, over the back.
Over the back is called on McEwen.
On a free throw.
And that's going to be a 1-and-1 for Boise State.
Yeah, I mean, he gave him a little shove, he did. But
third foul on McEwen. 1-and-1 for Hutchison.
That was a huge play.
Tonight, Hutchison is 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining and 57 seconds on the clock. And Haney's going to come back in. He's had a couple of offensive rebounds tonight. And now critical free throws for Chandler Hutchison.
Nope.
Missed it. His first miss, and the rebound to Utah State.
Well, they got to try and run this thing down as far as they can and get something going to the basket.
McEwen looking for direction from his head coach, Tim Duryea. Utah State trying to get to the Mountain West semifinals for the first time.
You got to get it in McEwen's hands.
It's Merrill, catch and shoot 3. It's good! A 4-point Aggie lead. 30 seconds to go. Williams for the answer. No. Tipped around. Haney has it. Haney lays it in. And Leon Rice calls timeout with 24 seconds to go.
I'll tell you what, I saw Merrill coming off that screen, and I did not think he was going to be open, and he was at the last second. What a great shot. Watch Merrill here. That's a great down screen, and he curls. He reads how he's being guarded. He's got a smaller guy on him, Lexus Williams. And that contest is not going to bother a guy at 6'5" like that. You see the difference in size.
He just tied his career high with his 7th 3 of the game. Merrill has 28 points, and he's 7 of 10 from deep.
Well, Boise State obviously has got to set up their pressure, and they've got to foul.
The 7 threes by Merrill is also tied for the second most in a Mountain West tournament game. As you see, our game reset. Utah State ball, they lead by 2. With 24 seconds on the clock, the possession arrow favors Boise State.
And Merrill and McEwen are both, Merrill's an unbelievable free throw shooter. McEwen is a 72% free throw shooter. So get it into one of their hands, especially Merrill, if you can. But Boise State does not have time to be picky. They're going to have to try one trap and foul right away.
It's a Boise State team, as we chronicled earlier, that has really struggled in the Mountain West tournament. They've lost in the quarterfinals in 5 of their 7 Mountain West tournaments. Lost in their first game each of the last 2 years. So trying to avoid a 3rd straight year where they've gone one and done at the Mountain West tournament here in Vegas.
Interesting they've got Merrill taking the ball out. I would think that you'd want him in bounds since he's the best free throw shooter they have.
Merrill is looking deep. Now gets it in, and it goes out of bounds. And it's a turnover! Boise State basketball!
They sent McEwen long. Merrill didn't want to throw it. He was open. They throw it into the deep corner. That is the worst place you can throw a ball in this situation. The worst. That is really bad execution on offense. Wrong guy taking the ball out of bounds, in my opinion, and throwing it to the exact wrong place on the court. You got to throw that in the middle of the floor, so that kind of a trap, and you don't get stuck in the corner like that.
Officials will go to the monitor. They have that right inside 2 minutes to see who last touched the basketball. Did it hit Brown's foot?
Or was he out already?
Or was it already out?
Or was Brown out of bounds? Where it doesn't matter if he's out of bounds already. That's a tough one. They called the ball for
Boise State basketball.
Wow. See, I don't know if Brown is in bounds. When the ball is hit off of Brown's foot, he's,
Looks like it's,
yeah, then it's off him.
I think it's off Brown.
That's Boise State ball. If Brown's foot were out of bounds, it would have been the other way.
Right. And they're saying white ball. It's Boise State basketball. Boise State basketball, 22 seconds to go. They trail by 2. Mentioned this earlier, Lexus Williams has hit 2 big shots at the buzzer this year for Boise State. Something to remember if it comes down to that. And he's had the hot hand tonight. Merrill got a hand on it and steals it. Oh, what a play by Sam Merrill. And there's the foul. No! A tie-up. And the possession arrow favors Boise State. Unbelievable.
And Boise State makes the same exact mistake that Utah State just made.
McEwen just stood there. And the ball goes right back to the Broncos. 16 seconds to play.
At least they didn't throw it in the corner that time.
Hutchison drives. Hutchison, tough shot. No good. Rebound to McEwen. And he's fouled with 7.6 to go. McEwen will get 2 free throws and has a chance to put this one away.
And they got it to the guy they wanted to. He just has not been right from the beginning of the game. When he sat all that time in the first half with those 2 fouls, he just never has gotten into the flow. Looked like maybe for a while he was, but he didn't.
Tonight at the free throw line, Kobe McEwen is 1 for 2. And that's a big miss. It will be a 1-possession game, make or miss for McEwen.
Well, Utah State, if they go up 3, they have to foul when the ball gets to half court, because it'll probably be under 5 seconds. You're up 3, you got to foul. If they're only up 2, they're going to have to play defense. And if I'm Boise State, drive it.
Free throw is good. And Utah State calls timeout with 7.6 to go. And you can be sure that's exactly what they'll be discussing when to foul, if that's what Tim Duryea wants to do.
Well, you want to make them throw the ball into the backcourt, so that way when they get it up to half court, it is under 5 seconds. If they throw a dart into the front court, you still have to foul. I'm not a big fan of fouling with over 5 seconds, but in this situation, if there's 6 and they throw it to the front court, you got to foul. You can't risk a team that shoots threes like them getting up a 3.
Boise State right on the NCAA tournament bubble, but this will certainly knock them off if they don't find a way to beat Utah State, the number 7 seed in the Mountain West tournament.
And you know, as a coach, you're the coach of Boise State, you're kind of at somebody else's mercy, because if they decide to foul, put it this way, Leon Rice is sitting there saying, gee, I hope they don't foul. And you know what? That's out of your control. They're going to foul you, and you're going to have to miss that second free throw and get a rebound.
Hutchison will inbound. Whoa. And before we go, we have a whistle.
Oh, that was perfect. They were going to be able to foul Lexus Williams at half court, and there would be 5 seconds to go.
Utah State called another timeout. So now the Aggies do not have one remaining with 7.6 to go.
I mean, this is the absolute perfect situation to foul him because you're coming out of a timeout on top of it. It's not like the kids have to do it on the fly. You can tell them right now exactly what you want to do. And make sure you don't foul them on the shot.
What a win this would be for the Aggies. And Tim Duryea in his 3rd season as head coach. And a chance to knock off number 2-seeded Boise State here in the Mountain West quarterfinals.
They should hope that they bring it into the backcourt again, just like they just did. Oh, that's even better.
To Williams.
Foul.
Back to Hutchison. They didn't foul.
They didn't foul.
Hutchison puts up a 3. It's no good. Tipped up, and that's it. Utah State with the upset here in Vegas. Another look at the final play.
I don't know why you would trap that. Why would you trap in the backcourt and give a look like that to the best player in the league? Somebody has to explain that to me. They got away with murder there.
Utah State is the first 7th seed to reach the semifinals since 2006 when Wyoming made it. And for Boise State, their NCAA tournament bubble likely just popped in a big way as they are headed home once again in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament.
And they were in control of this thing the whole first half.
Led by as many as 13, but it's Utah State moving on to tomorrow's semifinals against the winner of the game coming up next on CBS Sports Network between New Mexico and Wyoming. Evan Washburn's with Sam Merrill.
Well, Sam, you had a big impact on this game from start to finish, but the final couple minutes, you were all over the place, whether it was the 3, the steal down the stretch. Take me through your mentality moments of this game.
You know, coming into this game, we were confident. We had already beaten them once, and felt like we should have beaten them at their place, but got down a little bit. But you know, we just had that attitude that if we could get stops, we were going to be able to make plays offensively, and I was able to make a couple shots. I got that steal, but I turned it over in the possession before, so I'm just trying to get back at it.
You're a Utah kid. You obviously know what this means to this program. What's this mean to you to be a part of a group that takes Utah State to the semifinals for the first time in the Mountain West tournament?
Yeah, this is a big step for us. For the last few years, we haven't been able to get past the quarters, and we were excited for this opportunity, and we were able to make the most of it.
Sam, it was fun to watch. Enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, thank you.
All right, Evan, what a game here in Vegas. Utah State comes back to beat Boise State by 3. For Steve Lapis, Evan Washburn, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. After a quick break, we'll take you back to our New York studio for Inside College Basketball Bracket Week presented by Kubota. And we'll see you back in Vegas shortly with quarterfinal number 4, Wyoming and New Mexico. Still ahead tonight from Vegas.